really mighty special, which is we're going to super deeply analyze this one replay, and we're just going to talk about this replay for like an hour or two. Just this one replay. We're going to watch it, then watch it again, then watch it again, then watch it again. And we're going to try and talk about various different layers of improvement. So one of the things that, well, let me go ahead and tweet this out before I start talking about my spiel, yeah? Okay, there we go. Wait, what might I like? Hold up. Just saying. Oh, my thumb up my ass, right. By the way, though no one's gonna do this, if you feel like randomly doing something for my sake, you guys should try. Someone should play as Team Nene Patrick. 6 lives. And Nene Zuda's okay too. It's too late to submit. Yeah, it's too late to submit, Justin. Yeah, it's too late. You had 2 weeks. Yeah, submit next time. Anyways, so without further ado, we're gonna go ahead and jump in this replay. So let me go ahead and talk about my spiel again. What we're gonna do today, since we only have one replay, is we're gonna try and talk about JoJo ASB player, please. We're gonna try and talk about this replay, and we're gonna jump at different levels of analyzation each time. So, for example, the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna watch it, and we're gonna talk about some micro stuff. Yeah, I'll probably go a bit into perhaps suit specifics, and very finicky things that we're gonna talk about. Then we'll take a step back and we'll start talking about some more macro stuff. We'll talk about health, and then we'll step back again and we'll talk about positioning, for example. So I want to basically kind of make it very easy for you guys to understand the different levels at which you can kind of critique your own play, and that might help you guys separate how to think in terms of, rather than just watching your play and being like, oh, there's like 700 things I'm doing wrong here, and when you play and you try and focus on fixing them, it's kind of, an overloaded mess because there's just too much to think about. So this should be one great way to help you guys better pinpoint specific categories to improve in if you're feeling overwhelmed. Yeah? When you learn Gundam, you should just start with Freedom. Yeah, everybody should just start with Freedom. Anyways, so without further ado, let's go ahead and watch this one time. So we're just gonna try watch this. I'm not gonna talk too much other than this matchup. So I'm just gonna pause here. So we're watching Jinbu, and Jinbu is playing Hainu here. Let's go ahead and actually read what he wrote in his email. So that will give us a little bit more perspective about what he wants to focus on. So he says, "It's sup, Brad, Jinbu here. I've locked my Hainu replay that I'd like you guys to take a look at. It's me and Bako, Hainu Exia versus Zephyr and Fusion, Reborn's Keradim. I feel pretty comfortable playing back now, and I want some help on my front play. When I play back, I can usually see the whole picture and the ebb and flow of battle. When I'm front, I usually forget about it and just try and deal as damage as I can to both players while playing neutral. Not really sure what I need to work on, honestly, my positioning to cover my partner and control the map more. Sometimes I get too caught in 1v1 situations and forget to check how my partner is doing. Some specific things about this match. Near the end, I was very low on health, and I felt like I played too far back when I looked at the replay myself, wondering maybe if I should have been a bit closer to my partner. I feel like I still need to work on my burst timing, even though they're kind of debatable now in full boost. In this replay, I bursted really late in the game. I think if I had bursted earlier, I could have gotten another burst, and the game would have been much different. Also, we definitely should have lost this match." Okay, great. And once again, anybody who has questions, please feel free to at any time ask questions. So asking questions is really good. I really encourage it. So yeah, as long as they're not. Well, anyways, let's go ahead and move on. So again, Hainu Exia versus Karadim Reborns. I'm not gonna dabble too much in this matchup, but we can at least see that it's 3K 2K versus 3K 2.5K. So it's Karadim, so it's a little different, you know. We'll go ahead and it's not really that important, though it is. Oh, well, it's very important, but it's not really important for what we're really doing here for now. Yeah, I might talk about some matchup specific stuff in the match, probably against Karadim. I'm probably gonna talk about some matchup stuff and versus Reborns as well. Playing with Exia is playing with the back melee suit, and I may talk a little bit about that later on. But for now, let's just go ahead and just take a look at it fresh and see if there are, well, anything straight up that we need to blaringly say. The frame rate's kind of iffy, but whatever. So Jinbu is playing Hainu, and I'm actually not really gonna pause or anything like that. I might say some things like that charge shot, yeah. But we're just gonna watch this once. How's the sound? Sound looks like it's okay. That's kind of gross. Oh dear, video quality. Or, you know, also I'll comment there that you shouldn't shoot there, and I'll go back to why later. Ah, unfortunate. That was very unfortunate. That's unfortunate. Yeah, they really, those missiles are really much more annoying now. Karadim's little, like little missiles. Oh. Oh dear. Oh dear. How did that miss him? Pretty baffled at that. So, you know, they kill Zeph first. So Karadim's really low though, so we'll probably see them just, yeah, try and push for Karadim here. Psycho frame up. That sucks. Yeah, that sucks. I'll talk about that. He's gonna get hit by Garabi. Whoa, that's scary. Ah, that's unfortunate as well. Oh god. Okay, so we have an aggressive full burst at 166. Okay. Oh, dangerous, dangerous Garabi. Okay. Oh my god. Are you not dead here? How did that not hit him? Okay, okay. Okay. So let's go ahead and talk about some very, very, very simple quick solutions first. So let me just scrub through this here. So before I talk about anything else, what we really need to learn how to do here is play against Karadim. So like, first of all, you should have gotten shot there. If you don't use Fua, you should really learn to use Fua because Fua has saved you like almost every single time. To break it down, the way Fua works is you hop right before you touch the ground, and a Keradim who tries to aim for what he thinks is your landing will fire his shot, and then if he doesn't read that you Fuafua'd, even if he boost dash cancels his shot and fires another one at you, you will have landed after your Fuafua, and then you can block or sidestep or boost dash away from the second sniper shot. Better to block or sidestep than boost dash. In addition to that, you can Fua a second time after the Fua. So you can do like boost dash hop, and then instead of letting you go jump, jump, and it'll be like jump, snipe, land, right? Now it's a lot more difficult because Keradim has 3 shots instead of 2. But nonetheless, the general rule of thumb when you play against Keradim, even at high level where they're probably going to read your Fuafua, is you should honestly assume you should Fuafua until the guy shows you that he respects it. Yeah, you should not land thinking, oh, he might think that I'm gonna Fuafua, so he might let me land here. No. Just because the Keradim player is also going to shoot you until you prove to him that you know how to Fuafua. Okay, so you should basically Fuafua every single time against Keradim. Just like, yeah. And we'll also see this really not so good situation here coming up. I think well, we'll talk about that. It's not so good either. But I believe there's a part where he puts shield bits on himself. Maybe it's not till now. That chart shot we'll talk about as well. So yeah. Oh, here we go. So like, I mean, there's basically no reason to be. You shouldn't shoot. No, Fuafua is not Fua step. So a Fuafua is literally just hopping, like just pressing the C button. You don't sidestep and press C, you just press C again. So you just like, as you're falling, you just press C and go boop, boop. Just slightly delay your landing timing. Yeah. So there are other ways to delay your landing timing, but Fuafua is extremely efficient against moves that have poor guidance, such as Keradim Beam. Doesn't really have guidance, it just kind of goes off in like 3 frames. So it doesn't really matter. You know? So first of all, there's absolutely no reason why you're gonna shoot this guy here because he has shield bits on and he's Keradim. Just a really ugly situation. If you know, I will look at positioning later, but I mean, you know, your partner and the other opponent's front are kind of engaging, and you know, it's just not a good trade because you're not really gonna achieve much fighting against this Keradim here. I mean, you can maybe get lucky and hit him if he does something really, really bad, but you're probably not gonna hit him. And actually, honestly, by being more aggressive against Keradim here, you're actually giving him opportunities to steal landing on you and then snipe punish you. Yeah, if we just look at this from the start, like there's a place we should have probably landed at. Let me just replay this. Okay, so this is Kai. So honestly, like, this double boost that you did is pretty unnecessary. You didn't really achieve much with that boost there. Probably could have just either landed again or boost hopped instead of double boosting. And you're just going towards the wall here away from Keradim, so it's really feels like you just kind of tunnel visioned and you didn't think about the fact that he's Keradim. But though tunnel visioning in some sense can be okay as a front player, it's sometimes what you need to do. You should always, at the very least, be having a sense of whether it's the back or the front player. You know, you should be thinking about, am I 1v1ing the back player or the front player, and how it affects your thinking. Yeah. Especially that BZ, like causing extra vernier there, and I mean it might have popped off the bits because it's a BZ, but I still don't really think it would have been that good of a, you know, it's not a good play. Yeah. Now you do jump back here, but notice how Reborn's is landed already, and it's just a very sticky situation because you spent so much boost. Honestly, I don't think you get hit here, but you should have. Yeah, he just ignores you. But he shouldn't have ignored you. This should have been like a Gaga or a charge shot A, or hell, even a Garaby or anything like that. Please report your own scores, by the way, in terms of tournament. Yeah. And you even get this. I think he's just a very delayed reaction turnaround shots. It's pretty unfortunate. Okay. I mean, yeah. So we'll talk about another Keradim situation. I'm just gonna talk about avoiding Keradim here. We're not really gonna talk about Reborns that much. Okay, I also don't agree with that. So here, I think it's here. Yes, Fua right here. Now I have no freaking idea why this misses you. I have no freaking idea why this shot does that. I mean, I guess he just pressed it really early. It just looks really bizarre. Like, I think Fusion is just not timing these shots very well. But you definitely should have gotten hit there, man. Like, no question. But, you know, just, you should have pressed Fua, like, here. Yeah, it's usually where most people would Fua is, right here. Yeah. And then you jump a little bit, and then the shot just kind of goes like that. Yeah. So Fua here, really good. You get free damage anyways, though. So this is very nice CSA. That was really weird looking. That's a pretty alright call. So I went Fua here too. Yeah. Basically every time you land with very little boost, I would also, well, he's not looking at you, but he should have shot you here. Oh, actually you have a building, so not a big deal. Yeah. Well, that one is different. So that one's okay. Yeah. So the reason why this shot, well, yeah. Please don't tell me if your team won. Please report on challenge. I'm happy for your victory, but I mean, I don't do anything with that. You telling me you won doesn't actually do anything. Anyways, so this sniper right here. Yep. So this snipe is actually kind of a call-out snipe, but well, unless there's lag. Let me see if you could have blocked this. I don't think you could have. I think this is legit. You might have been able to block this actually, because it looks like you twitched a little bit. Hard to say. In any case, overall, that kind of shot that Keradim makes there is actually, I mean, you have to respect that shot actually. Yeah. I mean, honestly, it would have probably been okay if you hadn't done an extra boost somewhere. You boosted really weird. Hold up. So, here, you boost left? Yeah. So, and then you boost right. And this puts you really back behind a boost. And then you boost again. You know, you boost really rapidly in the same line and without really achieving anything. Like, if you're gonna boost again, at least either get distance or change your spacing somehow. But, you know, if you're just gonna boost in straight lines, you have to have a reason, and there's really no reason here. It's just kind of a waste of boost. You make something that should have been very difficult to punish actually pretty punishable. Oh, is that what it... Did you get a boost off? Oh, hard to say. Yeah, I think you might have been able to block this. But in any case, like, generally, if a Keradim perfectly snipes a early landing that you do, it's generally because they're calling it out. Now, sometimes, like, this shot, I think, was just kind of like a wildish shot. By Fusion, but certainly that's kind of one of the risks Keradim players will take sometimes, is they'll shoot us guessing that you're gonna try and sneak an early landing. And if they guess right, you just get hit. You know, you just straight up get hit. But they have to do it in advance. They can't really like react to something like just a boost dash land, because though it does travel fast, Karen's main does have pretty decent startup. So you shouldn't feel as bad about getting hit by that, aside from the fact that A, you might be able to block it, and B, you boosted twice, I think, like 2 extra times for not really any reason. So you know, that's kind of unfortunate, and you're really low here as well, so they're really just sting. Alright. So we're still just talking about Keradim here. We have both of them really low here, so it's already really great. And your partners. Oh my god, that's so unfortunate. How about he bought like a freaking pistol or something here? Oh, this was a snipe. What? No. What is this? Is this an assist? Can't actually see that. I guess that is a snipe. It just looks really weird. Hey, what's up, Tolga? It looks really weird from the angle. It must have been a snipe because it did so much freaking damage, but like the beam looks pretty fat from that angle. So, anyways, that's pretty unfortunate. That's vectors. We'll get back to vectors later. Yeah, that was double snipe. It's a good thing you're not dead from that immediately. Here is extremely dangerous. This is super dangerous. I don't know why. Well, I mean, yeah, this is just really dangerous. I can't believe you. Oh wait, okay, you don't land there. Never mind. Yeah, you should have just died there. I don't understand how that shot missed you. I kind of want to watch this match from Fusion's perspective to see how these shots are missing. But this escape here is just like really awkward. Yeah, it's like here's one of the things, like when you play against Keradim, so when you play against other suits, a boost hop is pretty good because, you know, it gives you a fair amount of distance and it gives you some vertical vector protection for, you know, for pretty boost efficient. It's pretty boost efficient. However, this boost hop here that you're making, so this hop is honestly this is suicide. This boost hopping into overheat against Keradim is extremely suicidal because it's just really easy for the Keradim to line up his shot when you boost up like that. Yeah. So you know, against some other suits where maybe they're running out of boost or something, and maybe it's just 1 BR overall, it's not as bad to just boost hop. But here, I mean, it's a pretty bad situation. But and I really don't like helicoptering here either. Because what is helicoptering? I'll go ahead and just ask the chat, because the chat knows. Okay, chat, pop quiz. Helicoptering, which is one of the colloquial terms for wake up, like, or just jumping straight up, right? What does helicoptering beat? Like, what are you trying to avoid when you helicopter? I'm sorry, also my throat's like super fucked up. Yeah, what does helicoptering beat? Beats out melee attempts. Yeah, exactly. Generally, it's used for beating melee attempts. Now, there are some other reasons to helicopter. But there's another reason why I think it's extremely terrifying that you're gonna helicopter here. And why is that? This should be really obvious. It's right there. But yeah, generally melee and Oki, yeah. But why is it why is it probably the worst idea to helicopter here? Oh, no, it's not that you don't have burst, though that is a problem. It's obviously a problem. Yeah, exactly, yeah, what Anthony said. You're playing against Reborns, and he's in Trans Am. And he's in Trans Am. Like, if he Garys, you're so dead. You're so dead. Right, yeah. Like, it's not even about Caradem. Though helicoptering against Caradem is also just, like, suicide. But helicoptering, like, any kind of really straightforward movement against Reborn's cannon, he's cannon. It says it there, you can see it, right? He's cannon and Trans Am. Like, he wants to freaking Garabee. I don't know why he didn't Garabee you here, but he really should have just died to a Garabee, honestly. Like, I don't know why he runs away here. Like, does he try and Garabee? No, he switches out. He wasn't even going for it. He should have, though. Yeah, like Reborn's Garabee, when you wake up helicopters, it's gonna beat out your jump like 99% of the time. This is really, really bad idea. Just don't want to do that. So you have every reason not to helicopter here. Anyways, on top of the fact that you're being double teamed, helicopter when you're double teamed is okay if you do it right and you have a plan. Honestly, though, it's a very hard situation. Helicoptering here, I probably wouldn't have done. Why? Do I want to pop quiz the chat here? Maybe I'll save it for later. Okay, fine. I'll go ahead and I'll go ahead and ask the chat, because I think the chat can answer this. I'll give you a really big hint. This is super no-brainer. Okay. Based on the mini map only. Why is this not such a good situation to helicopter in? Excluding the fact that one of them is Reborn's about to cannon Garabee your ass. There's another pretty straightforward reason that you can see on the minimap. It's kind of a 2-point question, so you get 1 point. So, okay, so Mahoko gets 1 point because of other partner. Oh, no. Never mind. Sandwiched. Double lock. No, that's not really what I'm looking for here. No, that's also actually not really what I'm looking for. Helicoptering when you're being double locked is not that bad of an idea. So it doesn't actually have to do with being sandwiched. It has nothing to do with the pincer, actually. Okay, so Bako gets 1 point. Partner is far, right? So partner's pretty far away, right? Now, what is helicoptering in a very abstract sense? What you're doing is you are sacrificing boost for kind of temporary defense. The key is temporary, because once you start falling, your goose is cooked, unless something happens, and that something is what will get you the other point. It's not high disparity either. It's not high disparity. Think about the suits. Think about what suits everyone's playing. Like, play out the situation in your head, yeah? Like, imagine what happens when high new helicopters and look at the minimap. This is Caradem, this is Reborn, this is Exia, and try and imagine what plays out. What is the thing that makes it fall apart? There's a missing link here that makes the helicoptering just, it's not gonna work. Hold on, let me get my phone because I think someone texted me. Okay, so yeah, that's cool. We'll give, I guess I'll give that point to Cheese. Yeah. So I think the big thing, the moment he lands Karim slides down, that's not the problem either. Well, you can call that out and Fufu to avoid it. The big problem is Karadem is far away. Or sorry. Exia is far away, and Exia, I actually don't remember if Exia has a burst at this point, but Exia being far away as a melee suit is the main problem, because when you helicopter, while you're stalling, if your partner can fuck them up, get like a down on at least one of them while they're trying to harass you, then your chances of survival after the helicopter improve tremendously, right? The problem here is that, like, Exia is not really gonna be able to help much. Like, he can sort of maybe get on Caradem, but it's Caradem. Like, it would be much nicer if Exia was, like, here. If Exia was here, or here, even obviously here, or basically, like, anywhere in range to threaten Reborns. But Reborns is, like, really far away from Exia here, such that this Reborns player can basically, like, Gara BU and do whatever the hell he wants, and without even having to worry about anything Exia can throw out. Yeah, so that's really one of the main issues here, is because his partner is a back melee suit. If it was a beam rifle suit, it'd be a little different, but his BR is pretty bad and limited ammo, and he does have some range attacks, but still. Generally, it's a closer range suit. His red lock is really short, so regardless of anything else. It's, you know, it's just slightly less of a viable strategy when your partner, who is generally one of the crucial points for the success of, like, a helicopter evasive option, when he's not really ready yet for you to do that. As a result, I think it would have been, even ignoring the fact that it's Trans Am, Reborn, Gara being your butt, it probably would have been better to just kind of boost back towards your partner and hope you move towards him so that Exia can then, you know, make stuff happen really great. Yeah, instead. I mean, Exia, because, like, oh, just look, I mean, is he getting hit over there? I don't know. But, like, look at how far Exia is here. He can't do anything from here. You can, like, you know, do some BRs and an Omicron. That's, like, it. He's nowhere in melee threatening range. Not till, like, here, where you guys cross each other. Now, I think if Remy had been a little bit more on point here, he could have actually interrupted this Caradem shot. He's trying, but it's a little bit too late. And you avoid that, which was also probably a poorly timed Garaby. I know the game is laggy too, so there's definitely that. But yeah, just lots of factors there that would really not have encouraged the use of helicoptering in that. So, anyways, I think that's a good amount of discussion on Caradem. Let's go back and talk about some more Hainu specific stuff. So one of the things I'm gonna really talk about, and the only thing honestly, the two things. Charge shots, which I'm gonna get to later because it's a little more fundamental, and funnel usage. Funnel usage. So one of the big things about funnel usage that I definitely do not see you do is, well, this is pretty good here. This first one's pretty alright, but this number. Yeah, this number. What team are we missing? Let me take a look at the bracket. Everybody's played at least one match. I guess someone in the losers bracket dropped out. Oh, I see. It looked like, okay. Anyways, okay. Sorry for those of you guys who are just trying to pay attention to Second Impact. I apologize for being distracted here, but let me go back and talk about this again. So, this number, this is your Psycho Frame counter. When it pops, it gives you a full buttload of funnels and also doubles your max funnel usage. I don't remember if it's double exactly, but it's quite a lot, right? It's really, really important to try and be efficient and make sure that you spend a lot of funnels when you pop it, so that when it goes boom, you get a lot of mileage out of it. It's really unfortunate they got hit here. It's like Psycho Frame, yeah, so 8 goes up to 18, right? So it's not actually, what is it normally, 12, I think, right? So it's, you know, another 6, so 50% more. So like it's really important to make sure you're being efficient about your funnels and dumping out like all of them when you pop your Psycho Frame, so you get the most bang out of your buck, right? Helps you put extra pressure for free. It's free pressure, right? So what we're gonna look at here, I also really don't like this because we're not spending our funnels here. And in case you don't know, when you lose your funnels, they go down to like, your max goes down to 12 again. I think it's 12. Should be 12. Unless it's 14. But I think it's 12. So your max goes down, right? Back to what it was before you pop Psycho Frame. So it's really important that we have 18 and it goes down to 12. So basically we're going to waste 6 of them if we don't use them, which is quite unfortunate. Now, we're not actually talking about the situation at hand, which is, you know, there's a reason. It's also really unfortunate. But yeah, we basically wasted 6 funnels. We actually honestly wasted Psycho Frame there. So let's go back and talk about what we could have done maybe to take better advantage of this Psycho Frame, because, you know, we pop Psycho Frame. It's not really a bad time. We kind of fire the shot here. Do we get knocked down or something? No, we don't. But we land here. We get hit, right? Yeah, it's by very unfortunate funnels. And then we just kind of pop it. Yeah, and then we just go. So I think I'll just pause this screen. I think that the chat can also, the chat, yeah. Okay, well that happens too. But I'll just pause it here. So, or, well, whatever here. I'll leave at this screen. I think you guys can answer this question. What is one of the things that Hainu does which conflicts with funnel usage? Alright, I may have mentioned it already. But from this, it should be pretty obvious actually that there are certain ways of playing Hainu which will make it difficult for you to want to play in a funnel type strategy. Pretty straightforward. I think you guys can answer this question. Yeah, CSA, exactly, CSA. For two, well, no, actually, that's just, yeah, I'll just say CSA. So, obviously, when you have CSA, right, when you have CSA held, you can't fire a funnel because you have to let go of A just to use your funnels. To press AB, you have to not be holding down A already, right? Now, unless your charge shot's not up, right? But certainly, if you have your charge shot A up, you can't actually throw funnels till you throw your charge shot A. And why is that such an issue? Well, your charge shot A is not very fast, like startup, and it causes vernier. Now you do slide a bit, which is nice, but it still does cause vernier, right? So one of the things that we see Jinbu do a lot here is he really likes to use CSA. Now CSA is not a bad thing, but you do have to recognize that when you go for CSA, you forego funnel usage. So this is probably why one might find that if you're used to vanilla high new play and you go to full boost high new play, you might feel like you aren't as good at getting funnels out. And that's usually because a lot of the time players are preoccupied playing with their new fancy toy that they got in this version called CSA, and it is really good CSA. It's free. Yeah. But as a result, you now have the oh so horrific crime of having to choose from multiple good options. Yeah, this is something that you didn't have to do, and if you're a new player, it's very, very similar. You actually have a lot of really nice options now because we don't just have BR funnel and that's it, and then the occasional BZ. We have charge shot A on top of funnels. And while it's quite delicious to layer them both together, you kind of do have to pick and choose how you want to play with them. Because I haven't actually confirmed this, but I'm almost positive it functions the same as it does with new, which I know for a fact, which is that while you are funneling, you don't actually build your charge shot A. Like, it doesn't actually go up while you're holding down A if you're making a funnel. So funnel usage makes it difficult to build your charge shot A up, and throwing out charge shot A or keeping your charge shot A held a lot makes it very difficult to sneak in funnels, because honestly this would have been a great time to throw out some funnels here because kind of nothing's going on, and yeah, it's just, you know, you have 18 of them, you should throw them. So, you know, let's go ahead and watch how Jinbu basically doesn't give himself an opportunity to throw out funnels here. Through a couple different reasons. So one is that we have a charge A charged here. We throw out BC. We're looking for a place to fire. We fire it. It misses. We have to boost out of it because it causes vernier. We're running away now because there's scary stuff. We land. So why do we not throw out funnels here? We're a little bit close, and for some reason Jinbu really wanted to attack this Keratin player aggressively. Doesn't work out. We spent a lot of boosts. As a result, we land. We're a little bit terrified that we're going to be hit, so we aggress on Reborns because he's close to us. I forgot, he wasted a meter or something. Alright, so we land first. Sorry, he lands first. He takes off first. So we're taking off second, so we're up on boost from him. And, you know, well, he's just kind of gonna let us... Why did this... Oh, I see. I see, right. He tried to do a Furimuki sub. He was out of sub though. He just got boost dash melee'd. If you're here, Zephyr, to fix this, because honestly you would have been okay here, do your turnaround shot into landing sub closer to the ground. The main problem is that your turnaround shot kind of like, you do it from, it goes over his head because you do it like really late. Now boost dash melee is also really good, and, you know, it might have been better to get some distance before you attempted this. Or a Gaga Omicron would have also been really nice. Anyways, so okay, so we get this boost dash melee, and we end this, but we spend a ton of boost for this combo because, you know, well, yeah, I mean, we do 2 rainbow steps in that combo. We land overheat, we get punished, and then like we finally throw out some funnels. We see him fuck up a counter, right? We get hit. Yeah, and that's the end of our. That's the end of our Psycho Frame usage. So really, we didn't do much with the Psycho Frame. Also, oh, Fua there. Sorry, Fua there. You are most certainly going to get hit here. Most certainly going to hit here. Fua right here. 100%. I guarantee you, this would have... Fua would have saved your ass here. So definitely Fua here. Yeah? I think a lot of people still aren't using Fua. And it... As a result, when people do use Fua, I see a lot of people getting blown up by it, even the kind of better American players. Whenever their opponent Fuas them, they definitely show signs that they're not used to people Fuing. Yeah. So Fua is a very powerful strategy in this game. It's one that really involves understanding the vulnerability of somebody who's hunting your landing timing and basically disrupting it. Yeah. My understanding is that Hainu should start every exchange with some funnels at neutral. Yes, but they do cause Vernier, and if you notice a lot of these situations here, Jinbu is very close. Doesn't really get much of an opportunity to throw funnels. I mean, he can throw them out here, which he does, but like he boosts forward here, and like here, like you can't really throw funnels here, even if you wanted to. Now he has a CSA anyways. And like, you know, now you're retreating, and like once you're retreating, you can't throw funnels because it's gonna be a waste of boost. So you have to run away. So one of the things for controlling your funnel usage, which we'll go into next if I can remember, and I'm just gonna get my notepad and just write this shit down before I forget. I should really do this. Is we'll talk about how to obtain neutral in a second. Okay. So we have 8 funnels. We're gonna throw some out here. Yeah. So like, I mean, Jinbu's throwing out funnels when he has time, but you'll notice like he's not getting much time. Because well, we'll talk. I'll just mention that now. Very, very, very common for example, turn X. And this is very common for Turn X and Destiny. It's an issue that a lot of players new to the game, or not new to the suit, fall into. Is a trap. I will talk about how to get time to throw funnels. But okay, so I'll give you guys a hint. I think you can guess this. It's something a lot of newer Turn X players do all the time. To some extent, to Destiny players, and now Hainu and new players. You should already be able to guess what this is. What am I about to remark on here as something that Jinbu can fix? And it's happening right here. It's right here. This shot right here. You can see. I'm pretty sure you guys can guess this. There, I gave a lot of hints. I think you guys can get this. It's something that is a little unintuitive. Yeah, okay, yeah, so James says, so charting CSA, yeah. So wake up CSA. Now, it's very easily corrected, but I will make a point of just mentioning that a lot of people will generally tend to hold CSA on wake up, especially if they had it when they got knocked down, because you're like, ooh, you know, I have it up, I should keep it up. And while CSA is good, one of the things that a lot of people don't acknowledge is that char shot A's, or those kinds of shots, are good at certain ranges. They're not good all the time. Yeah. And mainly that has to do with the fact that they're slow. And that is specifically why usually, and they cause burning, right? So usually on your wake up, it's kind of dangerous to hold your CSA because you're stuck with it, right? And the problem is, if you can't let it go, you sit there looking like an idiot because you only have CSA and you're like, oh, I can't do sub, I can't do main, I can't do AC because I have this CSA on me, and you basically feel like you got a bomb attached to you, and you basically are like, I need to get rid of this at some point, and then, you know, you wake up and you run away like a crazy man. You're like, okay, I'm free, I got through that CSA, I'm free. You know, that is really sometimes the feeling you get when you wake up with a CSA, because especially if someone's being really aggressive, it's very difficult to turn around and just let that CSA rip without calling them out for doing something stupid, especially like if they're standing still and they do something silly like garab you and you CSA, you're like, oh great, you know, I could get rid of that for free. But somebody who is just hunting your landing and they're just watching you, poking at you very delicately and aggressing at you, it's very, very uncomfortable to hold that CSA, because it makes you stand still and it makes you not want to fire, because just, you know, especially when they're the ones attacking, right? A better way, not a better way, but another way to illustrate, or I guess describe CSA is charge shot A's are often offensive. Yeah. They're often an offensive tool. Now, some really fat ones are often, honestly, good for defensive usages too, such as turn axes. You know, turn axes on defense, since it's really fat, you know, you can catch a lot of stuff with it. It's good, even air to air. But like when you use it as an offensive tool, there's not very much risk. When you use it defensively, it carries a lot of risk with it. So even though it is true that, say, turn axes charge shot A is pretty okay defensively, because it's just a really good charge shot A, though that is the case, it's still an offensive move, because you really carry a lot of risk when you throw it out defensively. Yeah. Let's go ahead and move on. So, like, I mean, this is really lucky here. This is honestly really lucky that we got this charge shot A off. Because we were boosting into the walls, just a pretty gross situation. But, you know, I mean, we get hit by that Gaga, but honestly, we should be feeling pretty damn lucky about the fact that we even traded from waking up the CSA next to the wall. It's very, very, very scary situation. It's very nice that we got that shield off there too, anyways. So here. Oh, we die. Okay, well, I'm gonna talk about this anyways. Let's see if I can rewind to where the issue was. So we're going back onto the cycle frame talk. So we're getting rid of some funnels here. We have CSA held, so we can't really funnel. We fire the CSA, it's not gonna work. We don't foo here, and we get knocked down. Okay, throw out some funnels. Get a knockdown. Yeah, we get knocked down ourselves. Okay. Okay, so I see. Okay. So I would have actually really liked to funnel there. Or here. So definitely here. This is actually the best time to funnel. Yeah. So like, because he's jumping over you here, is actually very difficult, especially like right here. Like, it's actually very difficult, especially if you boost dash forward to go underneath him. Very, very difficult for him to actually touch you here. So, especially with the fact that your partners are off doing their own little thingy, which we'll talk about later. If you just sit here and throw funnels from underneath him, you can probably land after that, and you're just going to be such a good position. You have landed underneath him. There are going to be funnels on the screen. He's still going to be there. It's delicious. You can just poop on this guy super hard. Yeah. So throwing out funnels would have been another, like, a really great thing to do. And there's one other reason why. I'll just go ahead and tell you, because it's not worth it. Our cycle frame's coming up. Yeah. We're at 91. So it would be really nice if we can find some good ways to throw out these funnels here before they run out, to just, you know, be more efficient with their funnel usage. And this is the perfect chance. Perfect chance. I didn't want to talk about activating till now, or till later, because, you know, we're just going to go back. But I was going to say about funneling, because we're blast, right? Yeah. So actually, honestly, here, would have been a pretty okay time to activate at neutral or here. Like, here. I actually think this would have been a really okay time to activate. Why? Because, you know, this would have given us the boost we want. It puts us above them, but we have a lot of boosts, so it ends up actually being advantageous, sort of. It gives us a lot of leeway to throw our funnels out here, because we're going to have lots of boosts, and we can step them because we're in blast. So it would have helped us get rid of all these funnels, put a ton of pressure, broken up these bits more. Now, I realized that we shot them with 1 BR, but we probably wouldn't have known was going to happen regardless. So the bits are still going to be really useful for shaving off this shield and getting some damage. It puts a lot of pressure on Reborns, who is waking up or who is in activate right now. If we can hit him while activate, it works out really well for us, because, you know, it reduces his likelihood of getting a second or third until later, right? And if we can kill him, it's even more amazing. So, you know, so it would have been a pretty okay time to burst. Now, I'm going to go back and talk about some better places to burst probably, but just because we're on the subject of funnel usage, it's kind of related in the sense that sometimes it can be justified, especially with blast burst, to throw your burst out at neutral, even if it doesn't result in guaranteed damage, because there's lots of really nice reasons why we'd like to burst here. I would really be okay with anybody bursting here. To elaborate, he's near the wall. Again, he's in Trans Am. Like, it's just like a really good time to put some pressure, basically. Really good time to get crap out. Putting crap out on the board from this situation feels really comfortable, I think. It helps you control the center. After you attack this guy, you can regroup in the middle and probably help put some pressure on the 4th player. Yeah. So overall, it just is a pretty nice timing. Yeah. Now that being said, here is also okay to burst, and yeah. And he has his burst. Oh, he wasn't bursted. Is he just freaking? Oh, never mind. Oh, he's not in Trans Am. Sorry, he's not in Trans Am. So ignore that part. Sorry, I thought he was. Cause you can't actually see him. It looked like he was glowing orange. Whatever. So this situation, this is pretty iffy. Okay, so the problem is this hop. You never want to do this. Like, this is just asking to get hit. Like, hopping as they're falling is like jousting at them. And I mean, first of all, matchup wise, never joust against Reborns. That's a really bad idea. It's a really bad idea. Just basically, I really would not recommend with most suits to challenge have a jousting match with Reborns. Is just not gonna work out, because he's just gonna main step Gaga on Mikyanyu and you're just done. Just goose is cooked. Another suit specific reason is like you should have subbed you right here, honestly, instead. Like, yeah, okay, I don't know what the hell this is. Oh, he's subbing your partner. Okay. Well, like, this was just asking him to get subbed here. Like, moving back in the green lock. Like, the main reason why I say don't jump like this is you're already underneath him. You're in his green lock, right? That's why he shot the other dude, because he can't shoot you because you're underneath him, right? So don't go back up. In addition, you didn't land. So you're actually, like, you're just handing yourself on a silver platter to him right now, because you're just offering yourself up to be sacrificed here, because you didn't steal a landing while you're underneath him, which you should have. On top of that, rather than boosting through him to make it even harder on the way to punish you as you're moving, you boosted away from him to, like, realign yourself. Like, you helped him hit you, basically. You reposition yourself in a way that made it easy to hit you. Yeah, especially with that boost hop. Even a boost, it would have been better. But boost hop is just, you know, asking to get hit here. So that's why, honestly, my initial reaction when you boost hopped here. Oh, here's another reason. Why is this bad? Okay, come on. This is like one more really obvious reason. I say this all the time. But this picture in and of itself is like, what's wrong here? I know somebody knows. I mean, just this picture, you don't even need to know what's going on. You don't even need to look at the map. Yeah, back turn. Yeah, back turn. Okay, back turn. A big problem is we're jumping at him and we can't actually even do anything, like, without putting ourselves at massive risk. This is why a burst here also probably would have been okay as a otherwise you're fucked situation. But yeah, back turn is just really gross. Like, you jumped up to him and you jumped up back turn. It's just, you know, you could have meleeed him, which is what he ended up doing here after the activate, which is here. But like, I mean, he's in Trans Am and we're kind of already jumping kind of far away, and I don't think we react fast enough. So that's why actually my initial impression when I saw this jump was you probably needed Defua here, actually, because he's gonna melee you. Well, he should have honestly like melee and activated or something, or well, like, yeah. I mean, there were a lot of things. Reborn's could have actually done anything here, honestly. Like, there's just so many options to do here, especially after activate. He could have done anything. He could have subbed you, but he used this up already. I mean, you know. But yeah, like, you really needed to have Fua stepped or died here, honestly. I mean, there's no, honestly, yeah. I think Fua is one of the few things that really would have saved you here, other than bursting. Or meleeing him in the face. You could have meleeed him in the face. It's a risk, but I mean, it could have worked. It probably would have worked in this situation. I'd still say it's extremely risky, but hey, if you want to call it out, if you think you got a read on the player, if you got a read and you want to take that risk, you know, no one can criticize you for it. If you think you got the read, you just, the only problem is you got to take responsibility for that misread if you do misread there, you know. It ends up being a very awful place to die, and you know, this is also unfortunate. It's very unfortunate. That's the other reason why I would like to burst here, is we didn't get our Psycho Frame. We only got one Psycho Frame on that first light. We should be aiming for at least 2. Yeah, we should have Fua there, I already said that. We were just talking about funnels. So, yeah, so... I might have Fua there too, actually. Yeah, so I actually think Karadim should have shot you here. I don't know what he's looking at, but he should have shot you. You need to Fua that. So let's find the timing here. Yeah, Fua here. Oh, a reason why... Yeah, I really like a Fua here because... he's not really lined up to hit you here very well. I mean, like, yeah, it's because he's, yeah, it's just, he's like in the middle of some gross stuff there, so you're pretty safe to Fua, I feel like. And if you didn't, if he was aggressing on you from there, you could have Fua it again. You could have activated or tried to boost dash melee overheat him, yeah. Because he would have needed to be kind of, yeah, I mean, you know, because your partner's on him and Karadim's pretty far away, so Fua there would have been okay. So here we're sitting with our charge at A. This will hit, right? I believe it will. Yeah, it's very risky. So we're getting these funnels out, so I like this a lot better. Yeah. So here we go. So that's really unfortunate. Again, waking up with CSA, really big problem here. Really big problem. Because now we need to let this go before we can even, you know, throw out funnels. Throw out funnels. No, 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 no. Like, you might as well throw... Like, you might as well throw out your remaining 6 funnels before you put on Psycho Frame. Because what does Psycho Frame give you? Well, I mean, it gives you some more extra stuff, but generally the most useful thing about Psycho Frame is it gives you a shitload of funnels, right? And if it's just more funnels, you might as well use, like, there's no... So again, there's nothing wrong with delaying your Psycho Frame till after you throw the rest of your funnels out. You might as well go to 0 and then pop it. Okay? And in fact, I recommend you try this strategy because this will encourage you to time it better. Because every time you see yourself with Psycho Frame up and like 5 funnels left, you're gonna go, oh shit, now I gotta get rid of these 5 funnels before I can Psycho Frame. And then go, oh, you know, I should use these 5 funnels earlier, that way I could Psycho Frame faster. So if you force yourself to only Psycho Frame after you're out of funnels, then you'll be able, it'll help you kind of remember to do them early, and you'll be more conscious of timing them, rather than, I think here you didn't even realize that you wasted 6 funnels. Yeah. Anything else? Again, CSA here. I mean, that's the big problem. Even here getting shot, I felt like... Yeah, this was just... first of all, it's kind of a gross place. There are funnels, you get punished for it. There's way too many funnels here, yeah. Yeah, and then sitting here with the charge shot A was really a big problem for me. You also should foo-foo with it, but I think I pointed that out already. I mean, even at SCR, people weren't foo-fooing when they should have. You know, like foo-foo is just still one of those things a lot of people don't use. Okay, it's very aggressive activate here. Really wanted that damage. Honestly, we could have gotten punished for that. We almost did, but... So here, okay, 10 funnels left, 78 like, we gotta get rid of these, man. Gotta get rid of these. And we're doing a pretty okay job of it throughout this charge right here. We might get hit for this. Nope. Psychopath. So how many did we waste this time? 6. Yeah, so 6 funnels wasted, you know, I mean, these kind of things add up. Yeah, it's very unfortunate. And that should have been KO, but you know, whatever. And you know, we just don't throw these funnels. We're basically wasting our Psycho Frame. That was an entirely wasted Psycho Frame there, I feel. Okay. Here's actually also, though it's not really important, you should have been ready for this, which is... So we're sitting here in green lock. Obviously, our partner has like hella life left, and we're at 3 HP, and it's repair mode, so, you know, we shouldn't have really done anything here, right? So, okay, this is just kind of like silly, but whatever, you know, get rid of it. Okay, so we got 3 funnels left, okay? So, what should we be thinking at this point? And this is, I think, what we should be, this is one of the common things that should be running through our head at this point. We only have 3 funnels. We can't really go in. We can't really support very well either. And I can only throw 3 funnels, right? So, I had mentioned before that funnels conflict with charge shot A, right? When you want to throw a lot of funnels out, it makes it hard to use charge shot A. We know that we only have 3 left here, so 1, 2, 3. Oh, sorry, well, 4. Okay, whatever. Like, what should we be doing? See if there's a good student. Good student should be able to answer this. There's something we should be starting to do right here. Right here. There's something we should be starting to do. I think I introduced this pretty straightforwardly. So I think you guys can answer this here, even though it's a very vague question. It's a very vague question. But there's something we should be starting to do here that we didn't. It should be happening about now. When we threw our last funnel. Now we get this win with regardless. Yes, good job, Cheese. Yes, CSA. Okay, CSA. And why CSA here? Because we're out of funnels, basically. We're at 3 HP. So, honestly, the best thing that we can do to help our partner do anything from this point is to try and support with CSA. Because though it is a offensive move, and I already said that carries some risk, because it, travels pretty far, one-shot downs, and, it's a pretty damn good CSA. If we can sit here at our max redlock range and just try and throw out CSA, and then, maybe throw out 1 or 2 more funnels, and our Psycho Frame comes up and pop our Psycho Frame. Land is also correct. Landing here would have been great too. But he does do that, I think. Doesn't he land? Yeah, he lands here. It's fine. But charging CSA right here would have been great. So the fact that I see him charging in against his Reborns here, and we don't have our charge shot A up, so we can't, I was just shot the CSA, it's just it's just one of those things. So it's not actually a big deal. It's not actually a big deal that we didn't have our charge shot A up. We probably wouldn't have had it up by the time this exchange started, even if we had charged it as early as possible. Well, actually, that's not true. But my point is, mentality-wise, you should be thinking to yourself those kind of things about the decisions. And the fact that you're not charging charge shot A, partitioning in, near the buildings, shows me that you're not really conscious about the fact that you have to pick and choose. It's a choice. Yeah. You have to kind of think to yourself, funnel or charge shot A. Funnel or charge shot A. And then you go, okay, now funnel. Now charge shot A. Now, that's not really accurate. To be entirely truthful, it's very loosey-goosey, and you should honestly just be doing whatever feels right. But that's the way it is with this entire game. In all honesty, in this game, once you get to a certain level, it's no longer about anything more than doing what you think is right. Yeah? But that's really not productive to talk about, so for all intents and purposes, especially as you're learning the suit, you should try and realize that when you're not funneling, you should be charge shot-ing. When you're not charge shot-ing, you should be funneling. And then you should also be making decisions consciously about which ones you want to opt for or when. Yeah, based on the situation, the scenario. So now let me go ahead and talk about charge shot A. Now that we talked about funnels. After that, I'll go back to how to make space for funnels. So, what I'm about to address is something that plagues 95% of American Gundam players, 98% American Gundam players, which is the idea of lining up your shot. I'm going to illustrate that very concretely. Okay, well, there are some better ones. Give me a sec. Let me find it. There's one that's here we go. What is this charge shot A? Can anyone answer that? No one can. Because this charge shot A has absolutely no meaning. This charge shot A is a blind shot. Yeah. This is simply, I am at the apex of my jump. I'm not actually looking at where he is. It's never going to hit. This charge shot A will only hit him if he's just randomly fucking Garabeing us. And you know what is the silly thing? Is like, this is the kind of charge shot A that makes you get hit by things that I say are never going to hit, right? Like, the only time you're really gonna hit this guy is when this guy is also doing a charge shot A that's never gonna hit you either. Similarly, Karadems that fire wildly in the air, and you watch them play and you're like, oh, why would you fucking fire there? That's a stupid fire. No one's gonna ever get hit by it. It would hit him right here. Right? If Fusion randomly fucking fired a BR at us, randomly, like, just fucking guess random BR in the air, it would have hit us here. So, by doing these kind of shots, you are proliferating the illusion that these kind of actions are good. Right? Like, by doing random wild shots, you encourage opponents to do random bad wild shots. It's the problem. But ultimately, regardless of anything else, this star shot is just textbook, never going to hit. This is just a bad charge shot with no meaning. Absolutely no meaning. There's no vision, strategy, plan to this charge shot A. You basically could have just covered the screen. This is a charge shot A I would shoot while I'm closing my eyes, basically. CC, C, let go, babe. Yeah. Like literally, this is closing your eyes and firing. So, I will basically point out all of them, but that one is the realest one. Now, some of these other ones that I opted to skip over, I did because they are just mistimed. They were like a mistake. Yeah, you just didn't get your timing right. You tried to line the shot, but it didn't quite work out. But that one is different, because that one's just a really you weren't thinking charge shot. There's just you weren't thinking, yeah. So, for example, this charge shot coming up here. So, you think the guy's going to land here, so you fire it. Now, in honesty, it's too far, and he wasn't really doing like an overheat, so it's not going to hit him, but yeah, you tried. You saw him trying to land. Not the end of the world. Now, it's better not to fire that shot, because it's not a good shot, but... So, this shot is also very bad, too. Now, why is it bad? He's already landing. You saw he was going to land, so you're like, oh, I want to, like... hit him, he's landing, but at this point you should actually be recognizing he's already landed and you should give up on this. You should boost dash cancel out of this. It's not gonna hit. And here comes the... Oh, that one was good? Yeah, that one's actually legit. Here comes the bad one. Alright, this one, yeah. Alright. So it's a good thing he didn't fire there, that would have been really bad. Yeah. This one is also just entirely meaningless. This one's okay if you had fired it here, but you didn't. You fired it after you landed, just like the other one. You need to react and know that this doesn't work. Hi. No, Josh. Second impact is what we call this kind of replay critiquing thing. That oh, there's no charge right here. Okay, good. So that's good. That's really good. Yeah. So that boost dash cancel out of that charge A, really good. Because I mean, that one actually could have hit him if he was doing something stupid. But you read he wasn't gonna do anything, and indeed he didn't do anything, so it was good. That though was really bad. So that kind of broke my heart because I felt like this was a sign of being smart, but then you threw it away by throwing out this one. So Jinbu, definitely you have a bad habit of firing like right when they have already landed, but high news CSA is really slow. It's really a wind-up shot. You really gotta start out pretty damn early to make sure it connects. Startup is really slow in it. Josh, please. Okay, so... well, we already know this is... Well, we already talked about this. Okay, let me see when the next charge shot A comes up. So this second impact here is like kind of okay because, you know, I think you thought that this beam rifle would hit here. It's unfortunate that it was mistimed, but you know. So Fufu here again, Fufu right here. You also don't partition your A, so you really need to work on that too, Jinbu, is actually charging your A as you fire your beam rifle. It's really, really crucial to any suit with a charge shot. Fire. Yeah, good. Again, this is gonna hit him, but that's because he misvectored. So I mean, you can aim for these. Like, I mean, I'm not honestly going to bitch too much about this shot. It's not a good shot, but CSA is free. You're 3K. I mean, I don't really like this shot, but it can work, and it's like a bad mix-up. It kind of relies on the opponent's fucking up. But since charge shot A is free, it's not the end of the world. You're low to the ground, which is why I'm okay with this, honestly. If you're like up in the air, stalling and looking like an idiot, I think it would be not so good. But you have a lot of boost. This is the main reason I'm okay with it. You have a lot of boost, and you're low to the ground, so you have plenty of leeway room to defend yourself if something does get sticky due to this sacrifice. Like, you throw out a little bit, you waste a little bit of boost because of this situation. You kind of put yourself in a slightly disadvantageous spot if this had missed and Reborns had gone on you. But it was probably nothing you couldn't have salvaged with proper defense. So, I mean, ultimately, I'd rather you had not shot that shot, but what's the problem with that though is if I always say, oh, don't shoot that shot, don't shoot that shot, don't shoot that shot, what happens is you just never shoot the shot, and then you never do anything, which is something I'll come back to later, which is one of the big problems. Okay, here comes another one. Again, same situation. The guy has landed already, and you fire at him right as he's taking off. Never gonna hit. Not from that distance, at least. Distance is really important as well, and this is one thing that we're not really taking much account for. I don't think we might not even fire off another CSA after this. Probably a CSA right here when he lands, right? Oh, I see. He didn't actually land. What is he doing? It didn't hit him anyways, but I don't think we see another CSA after this, because I think we helicopter here, and then we should have died right here, and then, right, okay. Oh, okay, there's one charge at A, and then we green lock and get right. Okay, good, okay. So that's only really, I think I've covered every single CSA, so what do we see? Aside from, like, there were two CSAs that kind of hit on accident, and I think 2 solidly timed CSAs. So 4 total, 2 of which I would say are legit, 2 of which I would say we got lucky that they hit them. And out of those 4, we fired like a total of at least twice that amount. I think we fired around 16 CSAs. I think. So yeah, I feel like we only landed 25% of our charge shot A's. Now they're free. I wouldn't really cry or mope about the fact that you're inaccurate with the CSA, but the main problem is, what are we doing while we're holding our CSA? Nothing. That's the big problem. Okay, and this is why it is a skill to choose. This is I would say, you know, the catch-22 about this kind of suit, and one of the things that some people don't like having to think about, again, one of the things some people don't like having to think about, right, is we actually have some conflicting tools, and if we misuse them, we actually damage our potential to put presence on the map, support our partner, and do our duty. Okay, so basically, if you're aiming for CSA all the time and you don't really achieve much with it, that's all this wasted time that just could have been done firing BRs and, you know, throwing out funnels. Because let's just look at our BR count. I mean, do we even BR neutral? I don't think we do. Like, okay, we throw out some, but you know, I mean, we're not really BRing. We do it like as we're doing a constant jump, as we're falling, because we can't CSA there, and honestly, also probably just to build our charge. Yeah. I see. Hold up. I think I just realized something. Yeah. Okay, big problem. I knew it. So Jinbu. Okay, if you pick up on this, then you're a really cool guy. Yeah. If you can pick up on what on what I'm about to remark on when I mention these BRs. So why did he fire this BR here? The hint's on the screen. But why did he fire this BR? Someone definitely knows the answer to this. Damn you, Twitch delay. Makes it really awkward to like ask. Yes, cheese knows exactly. Yes. So he fired this BR to charge his CSA, right? And when was he not charging it? Empty. 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 Empty, 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 empty. Big, 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 big. Actually, what is the word I'm looking for here? I guess big fundamental. It's not a mistake. It's just something you didn't know. Yeah. Which is, you should be charging your CSA as you release it. So you should let go of CSA, then immediately press it to start charging again. You should not be relying on these BRs like this one to build your charge. And we're gonna see another one come up here again, right? Oh, actually no, this one was charged. Oh, it's coming up. Oh, we were charging it. Oh, I guess that one was. I guess we were already charging that one. Okay, so we do charge it sometimes, actually. Okay, we are charging it. But I feel like sometimes, yeah, like there, yeah, we're not really charging it. Like, we just could be doing, yeah, missed opportunity. Well, I mean, here again, too, here, like, we're not charging our CSA. I know you want to. Because I know we're doing it there. So, normally, I wouldn't comment on it because it's not, like, necessarily always a wise decision to be charging CSA, but definitely based on what we've seen of Jinbu's playstyle here, he definitely goes for it as much as possible. So thus, when I see him not charging it, I can only consider that he's just not executing well. And he's charging it here. That's pretty unfortunate. That's, of course, hilarious. It sucks. Yeah, that was unfortunate. Yeah, so, you know, we're not charging it here. Like, we don't charge it there either. That's a big problem. It's like this whole exchange we should have been charging CSA. We should have been charging here. We definitely should have been charging here. And then we should be charging here too. And here. And here. And here. We should have had it up already. We have it up here. Bam. We should have been charging here. We should have been charging here. Should have been charging here. Well, like we are charging now. Yeah. We're charging here. Stop. Cool. Yeah, okay, that's enough of the charge rate discussion, yeah. So that's easily fixed, just, you know, practice partitioning your charges, just do it. Yeah, very, 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 very important fundamental skill to have is understanding how to charge our partitions. Yeah, very, 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 very important. I mean, yeah. Some people take it for granted, but it is definitely a skill that needs to be practiced, especially if you're not used to playing with a suit that, like, charges all the time. But yeah, basically, you know, you should always, at the very least, be charging when you land. There's no reason not to, you know. Because it's not like you can do anything else while you're landing, right? I mean, you have nothing to do other than just think about where you want to go next and stuff like that. And, yeah. I didn't actually read my text message. It's really random. So, what was I saying? That's all I want to say about CSA and funnel, I think, for now. Just that, this, by the way, this whole discussion, it's very, very similar for new, and let me just look down the list so I can try and remember like what others. Let me just quickly see if there are other suits that this is the case for. Certainly new. Also Cubile. Any other suits that this is important for? Cubile, new. Looking down this list here, is there anything else? Shinanju? Yeah, Shinanju. Sorry, did I say Sazabi? Sorry, you know, like 2 years later, I still make this freaking mistake. I apologize. Sazabi. Yeah, Sazabi for sure. So Sazabi, Cubile, new for sure, These are very, very similar. This kind of idea of picking and choosing, especially for Sazabi. It's like, yeah. Like Sazabi actually more so than any other suit, I think. Probably the thing about being a good Sazabi player is understanding when you hold your charge shot and when you don't. Providence is not really, like, I mean, yes, but it's not a big deal. Not as big a deal as like new or high new or Sazabi, as I said before. Anything else? Those are the main ones. Yeah, pretty much those. I think that's really it. Like Providence, I won't really say is that big of a deal compared to the other three, but those ones are a pretty big deal. Actually, honestly, even Cubile, honestly, is just playing front. Honestly, like the front funnel suits are the ones where this issue is most apparent. Yeah, especially Sazabi for a separate reason, but Sazabi, new, and high new for sure. So those, if you play any of those three suits, what I'm talking about here is very applicable in terms of knowing how to properly use your offensive tools. Yeah. So again, just to recap, when you're using CSA, it means you can't use funnel, and when you use funnel, it makes it harder to partition your CSA. Understanding when to hold your CSA and when to not hold it and forego it to opt instead for beam rifle and funnel play is one of the most crucial aspects of learning proper offense with those 3 suits, and neutral, of course. I should actually say neutral, not offense. Yeah. So, how far is this tournament, by the way? We get grand finals. Oh, where this is going? It's booking it. Excellent, excellent. Everybody's. I'm very happy today, by the way. Like, everybody's doing really well with this tournament in terms of pouring their own scores, and people are moving along. Nobody was missing even, and it's going very smoothly. We started at 5. It's not even 7 yet. Amazing. So let's see. What else do I need to talk about? I guess this would be a good way to talk about how to get funnels, yeah? The White Devil Ass Knight already touched about it. Now, what is... So the question was, how do I make time, or how do I create situations to throw out my funnels? Because I talked about how I'm not very good about getting funnels here, right? So I will paraphrase the concept and just put it simply as, generally you throw out funnels at neutral, right? Generally you throw out funnels at neutral. Now you can throw out funnels when you attack as well, but let's just say it's really easy to throw out funnels in neutral. Now that might sound like weird that I'm saying that, but what I'm going to do is we're going to actually watch this replay again, and you might find something interesting here. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to point out when we're at neutral, because you may be surprised. So we're at neutral because the game is starting. We're still at neutral here. So this is neutral time. We can throw out funnels. This is neutral. This is neutral. This is neutral. Yeah, this is neutral. This is kind of, we can aggress here. This is no longer neutral. No longer neutral. And back at neutral. This is no longer, oh, this is back at neutral, but let me rewind that because I didn't actually call that out. This is like no longer neutral. I guess this is neutral. This is neutral. This is no longer 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 neutral. This is all not neutral. This is all not neutral. This is still 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 not neutral. This is neutral. So we're at neutral. This is not neutral anymore. This is still not neutral. This is still not neutral. This is neutral. This is not neutral anymore. This is still not neutral. This is still not neutral, obviously. Obviously. This is still not neutral. 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 Nope, nope, nope. Now we're dead. So we're at neutral here. We're not neutral. We're sort of neutral here. We're getting hit in. This is kind of okay. So we're sort of neutral here. Fua. Amazing that they didn't hit us. I swear I got fusion just mistiming all this. This is not. I mean, this is neutral here. Yeah. Got hit, but yeah. Yeah, this is. Oh, this is neutral here. Not anymore. So this is neutral. Yeah. This is. Yeah, that was neutral until we got hit. This is still neutral. This is not neutral anymore. Yeah. This is still not really neutral. Eh, we're back in neutral here. Well, actually, no, we're not. This is still not really neutral. Yeah, this is still not really neutral. This is obviously not neutral. This is still all not neutral. This is not neutral either. I mean, this isn't actually neutral. This is just offense. This is neutral, I suppose, but I mean, still not really. Okay. So what you noticed is that after like, where is it? Around here, the game stops like being neutral. We stop really having good times to throw out funnels here. Like, yeah, like starting around here, just from here until most of the game, we retain neutral back when we die. But like all of this stuff is just what I'm trying to get at is so. White Devil Jameson said, so neutral is whenever we're not in danger of being hit. Yes and no. It's not really about being hit or not. It's about momentum. It's about momentum. Yeah. So, especially, let me go get on this part. Let me wait for it. Like, we're still kind of a neutral here. Yeah, we're still neutral, sort of. We lose it here, though. Okay. Right here. I'm still looking for the point I'm about to point out. It's coming up, I think. I know it's when facing the other directions. I think it's like around here. Come on, where is it? It's kind of around here, I think. Are we this low when it happens? Might be like after this. I think it's here. Where is it? Here. Okay. So why is this not neutral? This is not. We're not really playing neutral here. You can. It's pretty obvious. Oh, well, why do I not call this neutral? Yeah, exactly, because our partner is going in. Our partner's going in. So we have to rush down. We have to rush down. And our partner is knocked down here. So we're not playing neutral anymore. We're forced to defend. Running away. So this is why this is not neutral either. Our partner dies, so this is not neutral either, because now we're being double locked. We have to defend. Playing D here. D. We get a kill, so now O. Well, O/D, I mean, I honestly think we could have gone a little bit on offense there, but now we're like hard D, obviously. Yeah. I mean, that's kind of neutral there because we're all dying. But anyways, so my point is, so let me paraphrase this. So you can throw out funnels at offense too, but that's not really what I'm getting at here. My point is, we're not actually at neutral that often. Now, let me actually explain my definition of neutral. Neutral is whenever there's not a momentum shift either way, right? And why is the concept of neutral so important? Matchups. For example, why is Wing so good Well, for a lot of reasons, but one of the strongest things about Wing is that Wing wins at neutral. He generally just has, like, at neutral, he has better matchup than most other teams. Like, a Wing X team neutral is probably going to be a bit more advantageous than most other main X teams. Aside from, let's say, funnel teams. So one of the great things about funnels is that they're generally better at neutral. Why? Because they have funnels. Their team doesn't have funnels. It makes their map presence way better. It forces opponents to have to attack into them while there's funnels, right? Generally makes them, it puts them at a disadvantage if they try and push for offense at neutral. So there are lots of different suits and compositions that are either better at neutral or worse at neutral. Now, what happens if you're on a team that is at a disadvantage at neutral? Force the game flow to go out of neutral. Force offense and defensive play, right? Perfect example. A double melee team, right? I'm sure everyone here who's listening right now who plays Gundam has experienced at least one game where you played against double melee and you're not really sure why you lost. I mean, you guys got hit obviously, but it felt uncomfortable, right? I'm sure everyone has experienced that amount of uncomfortableness when playing against a very aggressive melee team. Something like Epion X, Master X, especially something like Master X1, Full Cloth Susa, Full Cloth X1, you know, those kind of teams. Full Cloth RK, like everyone's lost at some point to an RK team and not really understood why they lost, and you might just feel like, or God, yeah, God, certainly, you know, Full Cloth God, Master God, you know, things like that, Quanta God, you know, Destiny God, or, you know, Destiny GPO2, those kind of things, right? Xenon, anything ex Xenon teams, right? Certainly Xenon teams, right? There's certainly Quanta Xenon, right? Those kind of teams. I'm sure many people here have experienced getting hit by those teams and feeling like you don't know what to do and you're just losing and you don't know, like, you just feel like you're just getting trashed, right? Now, what that is nothing more than the opponents stealing neutral from you. Because that is truly what melee suits are about. They're about stealing neutral. Yeah. Yeah, anything with red frame, yeah. And that's their game plan. Like, if you play a suit like red frame, or you know, well, actually, like, especially the Death Scythe, God, Xenon, especially those kind of suits, Susa, like those kind of suits, your game plan in a very, very overall meta sense is actually to do nothing more than just steal their neutral away from them and make them not be able to neutral. Because on paper, at neutral, your team generally is behind a little bit, right? So the way you create opportunities to win is by preventing them from getting neutral against you. So where is this going? Well, let's watch this again, so we can concretely see an example of where neutral breaks down and why it happens. Right here. This is where it all breaks down. And whose fault is that here? Who is the one that who changes the game flow here? It's actually us. So there's a lot of reasons, but starts off with this boost dash towards the corner. I don't know why we're doing that. Into funnel, into boost dash hop. Puts us at a pretty big boost disadvantage, but not the end of the world. But here, boost dash forward. We thrust in here. This is a very bold move. So honestly, a futile move. I don't know why we're doing this, but never mind. Okay, so somehow we don't get knocked down from that. God damn it, I'm sorry. Let me find where it actually happens. It should have been there, but okay, sorry. So many people made mistakes in that exchange. So he starts here. He starts with us. So what happens? We pop our Psycho Frame, land nearby. Look at this positioning here. Look at the mini map. Look at the mini map for a second. Eggsy is over here, staring it away. I don't know why. Maybe he got knocked down. We thrust in by ourselves. Yeah, we go in here. Now we're deep in enemy territory. We have no real choice but to attack. Attack, attack. Attack, 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 attack. Now we win this exchange. We win this exchange, right? It wasn't necessarily a bad thing, but what I'm trying to illustrate is that is the point where neutral broke down. That's the point where things moved. We made a bold move in. It's not necessarily a bad thing, but we did decide to stop neutraling. So we decided to stop neutraling. Okay, it wasn't the opponents rushing us down so hard we couldn't fight back at them. We made the active choice to stop neutraling. Yeah. Now I just want to point that out because some people think that losing neutral is because the opponents knocked them down and then they were never able to stabilize, a word I really like, stabilize, right? But that's not what it's about here. We were the ones actually who gave up our neutral to thrust in here and play offense. Yeah. So if you're wondering why we're not getting any time to funnel, well, Jinbu is the one who's not giving us time. Yeah. We're actually the ones here. It's us as the player here who's deciding that we don't need to neutral. Why neutral when we can attack? And from here it goes downhill because we're in there, we get a mistake, we get knocked down. Now though that was from a mistake, that's what's gonna happen. So what happens when things get, well actually no, so here we go. So we get knocked down and we wake up. Oh, never mind. Okay, so I don't know why okay, well I guess, so it looks like Zephyr here actually decides to keep neutral here. So it's like actually Zephyr here stabilizes. This is actually worth pointing out from the opposing side here. Is after this knockdown, notice the behavior of this Reborn's player here. Look at the map, look at the map, look at the mini map, yeah. So Reborn's doesn't actually aggress here. He puts some light pressure. Moves this way. If you look at this map, this is very good. This is a good mini map. This is good. This is what it should look like, sort of. Vaguely, yeah. This formation's good. Yeah, this is very like polite, orthodox positioning play. But it's really Reborn's here who opted to stabilize here, which is a little bit surprising, but it's not necessarily a bad thing. Honestly, you can never, well, okay, you can, but you shouldn't feel discouraged to play neutral unless you're like playing like at Beyond. Then that's a pretty bad idea because you don't have neutral. Yeah. But I mean here, because of this charge shot, like this charge shot is really inhibiting our ability to stabilize because we're unable to put out pressure without risk. So what we're seeing here a lot from Jinbu is because of these charge shots and the fact that letting them rip makes him spend boost in Vernier, he's automatically forcing himself to play committed, which leans him towards offense. Notice that here, well, he got it confirmed, but notice like that's tiny little exchange here was looking pretty solid because we didn't have charge shot up, so we were able to just put on some beam rifles. We confirmed something, and here we have to commit. We get knocked down. Both players get knocked down. Notice how now it's just like kind of grody mess. Like you look at the map, mini map here, and it's just kind of really all over the place now. Like if you just look here, just look at the top right here for a second. I'm not actually looking. Just look at the top right. Just like look at this. It's just like all over the place now. And now neutral has been stolen from us yet again because we died. Right. So we died, and our partner is out of position, and now we unfortunately have to go in, and it's very hard to just sit there and throw funnels when our partner's getting fucked up, and we overboosted, and now we're playing this really weird, like it's just all about momentum shift, right? Like throughout this middle half of the game, like there's just a lot of momentum shift going on. We stabilize here, and we get a knockdown, or sorry, we get a kill. So we're able to stabilize, and this is why here it's really easy for us to throw out funnels. But here Jinbu again makes an active choice due to charge shot of thrusting in here with this convenient charge shot, a knockdown, and now we go in because we have a knockdown. We get shot, unfortunately. And here we're near the corner. Because of a charge shot, we're kind of forced to, make sacrifice. We get knocked down. Now, well, that's really good by Remy actually here. But yeah, so here. Alright. After this knockdown, here, unlike the last time, Zephyr is gonna choose to aggress here. Well, actually, it's kind of on both players. So now we have a little joust going on. We lose out on that exchange, and we get knocked down. So, knocked down means momentum shift. Somehow someone fucked up, though. I don't know how. So somehow we got knocked down, but the opposing team didn't really apply any kind of pressure, and we were allowed to wake up and reestablish neutral. So we reestablished neutral here, but due to this knockdown, at the same time, Exia chases. We're now left alone here, and both players thrust into each other. So we're just in a dogfight here. We use an activate to finish it off. We get knocked down, but Exit goes in. We have to save him. I'm really surprised he didn't get hit by that. Not that it was a good shot per se, but just like there was so much shit coming out. So now, because our partner is dead, we're forced to play defense. Our partner's coming back. He's trying to help us. We have to run away. We should have died there. It should have been the end of the game. Yeah. So, back to the question. How do I create more time to use funnels? The answer is stabilize. Stabilize, 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 yeah? If you are at neutral, it's a lot easier to sneak in funnels. The problem is, in a lot of games such as this one, there's just a ton of back and forth momentum shifting because people are getting knocked down all the time. Yeah? People are getting like knocked down all the time, and as a result, the game flow kind of carries you. Yeah? Like, you basically get caught up in the flow of the game based on the momentum. Your partner gets knocked down, Now you have to run away because they're double locking you temporarily. Then your partner gets a knockdown, then you go in, you get something. And, you know, it's just like that whole back and forth, the ebb and flow, and this whole, like, getting caught in the flow is really what happens. And when you get caught in that flow a lot of time, it really makes it a lot harder to create time to throw out funnels. So if you are somebody who's also having difficulty getting funnels out in game, try and think about stabilizing more. You know, just it really comes just down to getting to stabilize. And if you are a funnel suit, it just means that it generally means if you're a funnel suit that you have the advantage at neutral. So you should feel more inclined to stabilize than, say, a melee suit. And it's honestly a strategic decision, and it's not, I'm not trying to say that you should like not chase people. As we saw a lot of the time, a lot of these worked out where, you know, we get a knockdown somewhere and we go in. See where it happens. Like the first one's pretty good. I mean, it works out well at least. Oh, that sucked. Need to really watch out that here. Like, this kind of worked out. We get this melee. Get punished for it though, which is unfortunate. But, you know, we should have really hit it. Oh, we did hit him. Okay, good. We get some good hits. Now, that was just boosting on his Garaby vector. We shouldn't have gotten hit by that. So, we should have actually come out of that exchange, like, really on top. Anyways, where was I? So, it's not necessarily a bad thing to forego neutral and let yourself get carried in the flow when it's in your favor. When momentum's in your favor, it's hard not to go with it, you know. But I think one of the things that I would encourage as a funnel player is if you get that momentum on offense, but you don't feel it's working out, you should try giving up on that momentum to stabilize and establish neutral instead. You may find out that that's more beneficial. Because, you know, sometimes we get, I'm sure it happens here, we get some offense and then it doesn't really work out well. You really could have flipped through that, by the way. I really have to emphasize. Let me look for it here. Well, like here we just really want to stabilize, but we can't, right? Because Bako is off on the other side of the map from us. So again, like as a back player, this is really important too. So if you're looking for advice as a back player, one of the things you can do to help your front player is to try and help him stabilize when he wants to stabilize. So this knockdown. So like here's really good because we get that knockdown, and as a result we plant funnels. So we just kind of, now we're playing like a strong neutral here. We get another, is that a knockdown? God damn it, I can't believe that wasn't a knockdown. We get knockdown here. We get KO. Like, notice how much easier it is for Jinbu to get his funnels out when he's getting knockdowns all the time here. But here, you know, here this offense resulted in us getting hit. This wouldn't have happened, right? If I actually wouldn't have done this either, personally. Like, I have this knockdown. Think about how great it would have been if from this knockdown all we did was like put a funnel or two possibly on him, then backed off, then popped Psycho Frame, and then just funneled the crap out of those guys, man. Right? Think about that would have been so juicy. And we would have had a full burst, like we would have been so good. Right? If we had done that. But instead here we push. Push really greedily. Really greedily here. Get punished for it, you know. We would have gotten punished even if we hadn't gotten hit air to air, to be quite honest. We just had no boost unless we bursted. Yeah. I'm surprised he didn't burst here either, but it doesn't reduce damage. So it's good. I mean, yeah. We'll talk about bursting later. Before I forget, let me write that down. So, obtaining neutral from offensive flow is quite easy. It's just called folding your advantage, right? So, that's pretty straightforward. Well, White Devil asked, so how do you get back to neutral if the other team is being aggressive all the time? Knock them down? Well, if you're first of all, yes, right? Knocking them down helps obtain neutral or offensive flow. But generally, what happens when you're on defense is you're on defense because your partner got knocked down, or you got knocked down. If you guys are both running away together and they're just chasing you, that's actually basically neutral. Yeah. Like, defense, it depends. Like, if you're not getting hit the whole time, like, eventually, if they are aggressing at you, you probably hit them. Like, it's very rare that some team is gonna be aggressing on you super hard the whole time, and you're gonna defend the whole time, and you're not gonna get a knockdown. If nobody's getting knockdowns from that, like, that just really doesn't happen because they're usually risking something by being aggressive, right? So, one of the things that's probably the easiest, most concrete example of how to obtain neutral from defense is when your partner gets knocked down and you are far away and they're hamming on him, don't help him. Now, this may sound like an awful strategy, but it is a way to get neutral, and sometimes it's better than getting caught in the flow and getting caught in the flow of being forced, having the flow force your hand and being sucked into a vortex of, like, you know, melee knockdown circles, especially in a melee square, which is the whole thing of, like, A melees B, and then B gets, or A melees B, sorry, B melees A, but then C melees B, and then D melees C, and A gets up and melees D, and we call it the fucking melee square, right? So, like, one of the things that can be helpful is when you're in the melee square is actually just to get out of the melee square. A lot of people like getting in the melee square because if you win in the melee square, like if you get a 2-for-1, then you just probably win that whole game. Like if your share of the melee square or the cut square was a cut and then you hit the other guy who was trying to cut you and so you knock both those guys down, like the game's like pretty over, honestly, because it's like a 400 damage swing. It's a really big swing, and if you can win that, it's just really, really, really huge. So a lot of people like to challenge others in the melee square, but if you back out of the melee square, you can basically stop it and say, okay, screw this, I don't want to have anything to do with this crap, I just want to go back to neutral. You sacrifice potential damage for sure, and your partner's going to be in a sticky situation because of it, but you will stabilize. So to explain this, what do you do instead of helping, right? If your partner is basically in a pinch, like, you do need to help him, but basically rather than rushing in to help him, sometimes it's better to just build a strong, like, strengthen your position and then slow push towards them while your partner retreats. That way, when they try and follow your partner, you don't just, like, intercept. You don't intercept. You just stay stable and let them you let them attack into you, right? This is like the difference between this is like being a you know, like being a phalanx or whatever, and instead of rushing up to spear the horsemen as they're charging at you, just to stabilize and allow them to attack into you, right? Rather than meeting force with force, this is like a reverting force and momentum, basically, right? So you can allow their aggression, you can accept their aggression and simply misdirect it and turn it away. So for example, if they're chasing your partner and they see you near them, most players will try and switch to you, right? Because they expect that you're gonna try and rush in and attack them. But if they do that and you're simply playing earnestly, you're playing neutral, then they are overstepping their bounds there, and you will probably get a free knockdown or something, right? Similarly, because of that threat, while the opponents are chasing your partner, if they respect that threat that you're showing them, then they will also have to play more conservatively, which makes them less aggressive on your partner, which makes it easier for him to run away. For example, if they double lock, a lot of people will like try and go. A lot of people who see their partner being double locked, they'll like go in, try and get like a melee intercept, for example, or even if it's not a melee intercept, they'll move forward and like try and just put a lot of crap out. But what I'm saying is you can simply get a landing punish, let your partner get hit, but you landing punish, just very basic, you know, you're watching he's over boosting because he's pushing at your partner, and though your partner may be getting hit, you landing punish one guy, right? The other guy is landing because he's chasing two. Your partner wakes up, you're neutral. Now you could have maybe avoided your partner. You could have maybe prevented damage on your partner, but you now have a solid stabilized neutral. You guys get to reform, and you're back in neutral. Yeah, this is as opposed to, for example, you know, letting yourself get caught in the flow of cut squares of, oh, you know, my partner's getting hit, and then you try and cut it, and then the opponent's enemy or the opponent's partner cuts you, and then the other guy sees that you got knocked down, so now the guy you were trying to cut for wakes up after being hit, and he sees that you're now being double teamed, so now he has to go in, right? That's the problem. It's like, it's all about this. We're gonna look at a concrete example of what I call front and back like tag. It only comes up maybe once or twice, but we'll see how it goes. So here, so we push in here. So now look at our partner. Now Remy has to move in here, and then we have to run away because we obviously made a really bad decision. And now our partner is up here because he thought we were going in, but really we made a bad play here. We actually honestly should have been knocked down. It would have been even worse than this. It should have actually been them 2v1ing him while we were knocked down. In any case, though, the situation is similar, which is, you know, now he has to run away, you know, and we're like, oh, okay. And, you know, like the same thing, like we go in, and then Bako goes forward because we move forward, but then we move back because we weren't like really ready, and we get knocked in. And now our partner is trying to make things happen, so then we have to go in, so we pop in and we aggress here, but he ran away because, you know, he overstepped his bounds, so now he was really far away from us, so now he has to move forward again, and now we're all in on that. We get this hit in, but you see what I'm talking about here, where it's like this whole back and forth, where, oh, we move forward when our partner doesn't expect it, so then we're alone, so they 2v1 us, so we have to run away, but then our partner came in to help us because he saw that we were like really fucked, so then he moves forward and we had to retreat because we were getting pushed back, and now our back player's in the thick of things, so now we have to move forward, and then our partner, like, our back player has to run away because he was getting pushed in, but then, you know, so this kind of thing, very, very, very common with players who are not either looking at the mini-map very often or don't understand like group of momentum is like individual momentum shifting really causes can cause a lot of disruption, like a lot of disruption. Honestly, this whole neutral game in the beginning was really messy because of that. Just because of that. This is why, like, I think maybe you might have heard me at least once or twice when I'm in player matches tell my partner to just let me play neutral. Like, I will often just tell people, like, don't come help me. Like, just don't. Just stay back. Because one of the most aggravating things as a front player is a back player who tries to help when you don't need it and, like, moves forward and then you have to go save him. Same with as a back player who, like, you know, where your front player runs forward when you were in an okay defensive situation and now you have to move with him when you didn't need to, those kind of things. Mainly the front one, though the back one's not as big of a deal, but certainly with the front, like, and your back player moves forward when he shouldn't, is probably one of the most easy ways to get your momentum disrupted. That's why melee teams are probably one of the best teams for preying on poor back player positioning. Because here's a perfect example. Dragon in vanilla, not so much in this version, but Dragon in vanilla was considered a really good character. Yeah, he was like A tier for a while before the 2K class kind of got bumped down an entire tier overall. But Dragon was considered A tier for a while. And why is that? Why is that, even though actually he doesn't really have much going for him at all? It's really hard for him to land punishes. His neutral game is ass. It's just because his stretchy arm was a knockdown. And you can get momentum that way. So literally, the strength of Dragon was nothing more than momentum. It's basically all it was. He was literally a good character because he was good at getting momentum, because he could get knockdowns. Just that, just knockdowns. It's not even about flag usage. Just knockdown. It's not even really about controlling space. Like, yeah, he can control space with flags and stuff, but it was really the main, like, 80% of why he was a good suit was just being able to get fast knockdowns. Being able to steal neutral instantly and start an offensive flow. Yeah. And you can still do this kind of stuff in this game too. Like, understanding flow in this game is really hard to grasp, I think. Especially in the thick of things. Especially if you're playing front. It's very hard to grasp flow. But controlling flow is probably one of the strongest ways of counteracting an opponent's pressure. Especially if you're feeling an aura from them. Or if you're just, you know, like things like matching presence and like spacing. It all is related to game flow. It's all about game flow. And that is certainly one of the most important things about being a good partner as well. I think the best teams are the teams that understand flow correctly together. And it's not really just about fulfilling your role, it's about flow. One of the big things that I comment on a lot of people actually who are new is they don't know, as a back player, is they don't know how to go in when they need to go in. And what that really is they are not understanding the flow. They don't understand that the shift has switched to an offensive flow. Yeah, so there's one of the most common problems with like intermediate back players is they play this like neutral, and then they don't realize when the game flow stopped being neutral. And when you watch it as a more experienced player, you go, yo, like, what are you doing? And they might not even know what you're talking about there, but it's because you may have recognized as an observer that the game has shifted in terms of momentum and that there's now an actual direction. And if you're not catching that direction as a back player, then you're totally off sync. This is probably why game flow is something that back players understand better than front players. Because as front player, you decide the flow yourself. Yeah, when you play front, like, you're actually the one that creates the flow. You're the one that makes the shift between neutral, defense, offense. It's often you, not your back player. The back player is the one that needs to be able to recognize that flow, because it's how, like like the back player's ability to recognize the flow is connected to the back player's ability to read your body language as a front player and match you. That's what playing back is about. It's just about it's about being able to communicate silently with your front player and be on the same wavelength as him, just based purely off of his movement, right? So back to what I'm talking about, like, I guess to pull back, I mean, honestly, that's really important discussion we're having right now, just about game flow. It's something that we could talk about for ages and ages and ages. It's really hard to master, and it's really a lot more complicated than like what I said about just offense, neutral, or defense. But it's really just like a lot like you are like on a lake that's still, you know, and then suddenly people are creating tidal waves and they're making ripples, and it's all about understanding where those ripples are, basically. That's really what like backplay specifically is about seeing where the ripples are and understanding like where the still points in the ripples are, where you need to go to create ripples of your own, and like how the four suits resonate together. And that's also honestly what positioning is about too, is that change. So that the reason why funnels are so strong is it elevates you without needing to make strong big plays. You create your own environment and your own territory out of stillness, out of neutral. A lot of other suits have to really create opportunities and make advantages by getting things started, by driving at you and doing things like that. But funnel suits have the particular unique advantage of being able to build something out of nothing. Yeah, that's what the magic of funnels are. And as a funnel suit, that's really all about what it is. Or, you know, that's basically one of the things you need to focus on as a funnel suit. As a front funnel suit, it's a little different with back funnel suit. Back funnel suit and front funnel suits kind of play a little bit differently. Overall, there's still a lot of overlapping concepts. But though I had said that the idea of understanding each suit's sphere of influence and interaction is something that's, I suppose, fundamental, core, something that's core to a backplay. Why am I talking about it with regard to front play? Well, with front play, though you dictate the flow with every action you do, thus not needing to be able you don't need to necessarily understand flow as critically as, say, a back player does. If your goal is to stabilize flow or control the shift in flow as a front player, then you need to understand it, because you can't figure out how to, you know, switch the flow and ebb and tide of battle without understanding it yourself. Yeah. So though you can honestly play the game without even, you know, knowing anything about momentum at all and just doing what you think is right, you will feel it. I will say it that way, is you will feel it, and even if you don't know what you're experiencing, even if you don't know how to name it or what to call it or how to describe it, you might not even remember it in hindsight, but that feeling when you just feel like the game is going wrong, what that is momentum. And when you lose to a team that's much stronger than you and you get blown out, but you didn't feel like you made too many mistakes, what that is they disrupted your flow. And that's a really, that is a very it's a pretty high level concept, I would say, is like, you know, disrupting flow. it's something that's very difficult to grasp, but I feel like if you practice it a lot and you're conscious of it, you can get good at it. But that's really something that stronger players use. And honestly, like, yeah, it's pretty anime, honestly. Like, especially with front players, though with back players too, which is like two really strong front players. They're really fighting, they're battling each other's auras basically. They're trying to disrupt each other's like sphere of influence and flow to take control of it. And when you watch really strong players at high level, what they're doing looks really weird because they're just trying to dissect and disrupt, you know, where they're trying to attack from, basically. You know, it's like each suit has their own sphere of influence, and they may be trying to extend it in different places at different times. Basically, it's basically trying to extend their aura, their presence in certain directions. And basically, as the opponent front, what they're trying to do is misdirect and look for gaps to insert, you know, from ebbs and flows. To illustrate this, or to illustrate like what I'm talking about with neutral game, I'm gonna show you guys a match that I really want you guys to look at. Someone clicked the wrong thing, so I just need to oh man, there's this really dumb bug in challenge right now where like it keeps logging me out when I go on the Gundam section for some reason. I don't know why it does that. There we go. I guess I just have to log out and log back in. Okay, I fixed it, guys. Go ahead and play. What is PSO2 versus Veggies on Fire? Cool. Okay. So what I'm gonna show you guys is a really high level match with basically this. I'm gonna show you guys a match from basically the best players in Japan. And they're playing a best of 7. I think it's this very first game that I can show. Hold up. I think this actually might fit here perfectly. Yeah, okay. So I'm gonna show you guys this. Let's see. Let me go ahead and recapture this. Oops, okay, let me recapture this again. So we're gonna watch NO Wing. Forget who's playing in this. It's NO Wing, Sony, and Shiroaka. Yeah, okay, yeah. So yeah, Paraj, I got sub. Let me go ahead and mute this music really quick. So before I go into this match, and I'm not going to talk about it too much actually. I want you guys to watch. I'm not going to pause it. I'm just going to point. I want you guys to watch this very generally. I don't want you guys to really focus too much on the super technical things that are going on. I just want you to watch how they play neutral. Very, very important. Okay. So we're about to watch Maple Reborns and Sony Hambrabi versus Eno Wing. It's not the same as Eno Toko Wing. It's a different guy named Eno. But Eno Wing and Shiroaka Zeong. For those of you guys who don't know, Maple and Shiroaka won the last premium dogfight, and Eno Wing and Sony Hambrabi are both really, really, really strong. Like, these guys are basically the cream of the crop. Okay, so we're gonna be watching this from Eno Wing's perspective, and we're basically gonna be watching how he fights against Reborns, because he doesn't really. I never see him fight Hambrabi in this like whole set. They don't fight Hambrabi. You don't fight Hambrabi, and you'll really very rarely see Reborns fight against Shiroaka either. You're basically gonna be seeing like this is what this match basically looks like. Two martial artists fighting. Okay, I'm not really gonna talk much more about. We're just gonna watch. So, watch. Just watch neutral. Like, watch how. Just watch this movement. You're not watching anything but moving here. That's really godlike block, by the way. Maple's like godlike brother. I understand how he does that, but yeah. Like, look at that exchange right there. So what I want you guys to focus on here is how they neutralize each other's pressure, because this is what all this is. This is all neutralization. That was unfortunate that he fucked up there. He actually got one. But like, this is all neutralization, which is different than saying watching neutral. But like the way that well, except that I guess he does actually land the hit on Sony there. But like the way that NO and Reborns interact with each other, like notice. Okay, I just like to point this out. Okay, how long have we been watching this for? We've been watching this for like fucking 2 minutes. Like how long? Like what? They've literally been neutralizing each other and just poking very, very reservedly and just trying to feel at each other for like 2 full minutes. For real. Like, they've gotten hit. Like, he landed like 1 Garabi and like 1 CSA on Maple. And Maple landed like, he got hit by a Gaga and like 1 BR. Like, that's all that's happened. That's all that happened in like the last like 20 exchanges. Both players made mistakes there. Like, look at this. Yeah, neutralization. Neutralization. Except Gagas. But still, neutralization, yeah. Like it's all they're just basically trading tool for tool. Zero system, Amekyan, Gaga. Lariat, Garabi. Shield for shield. Zero system, Amekyan. Baits from both players. There, neutral, stable. Notice how Eno here, he gets this knockdown. He sees on Brabi, he's just like, okay, whatever. Let's go back to neutraling. Well, they kind of put some pressure on Maple, but still. Oh, that was good. There's more of this set, and I'll link this set for those who wanted it. But whoops. Anyways, like, so, and this is after the update. I don't have. Well, we can watch the Zam play later, but I'll like, anyways, like, the point I want to illustrate there is, if you were watching that closely, that was like all neutral game. There were some momentum pushes, especially towards the end. That's where the game kind of rolled down. That's where the game really shifted towards Eno's favor, the wing player's favor, was after the first life. They got some really nice momentum shifts off of some mistakes that were made, and they were able to get some small aggressive plays that kind of snowballed. But notice how literally the first like 2 minutes of that fight is just strict, pure neutral game, and it's just both players trying to dissect each other entirely. Yeah, like, if you just like, it's like, honestly, I think this is the only thing you need to watch to get better at playing front, is just this. This is literally just like, it's just literally this right here. Like, these first 2 minutes are really, really amazing. You just watch this over and over again, because there's so much stuff that's happening here. Like that, there's a lot of thinking going on there. There's a lot of options being considered by both players, and it's the way they choose to go about dealing with them. Like, it's not even about positioning. It's just literally these two guys butting heads. It's one of the funny things about watching JP people play, like, really high level. Sometimes, like, it's also just, I feel like it's just a matter of pride. I mean, obviously it's like their position is really, really good too, especially, but sometimes you'll see them just go for things because they're just really focused on disrupting the front players. Like, notice how, like, literally this first 2 minutes is like, aside from a couple exceptions, it's really like the Wing and Reborn's players are just fucking going at it. Like fucking Shiraka and Sony, they're all, I don't even know what they're doing in this first minute and a half. Like, they're seriously just doing random crap. I don't even know what's going on over there. They're just like fighting each other on this hill. Look at that bait, man. Look at that bait. Now he gets hit by this Gaga, but that was an amazing bait. I really love that bait. So smart. So smart. It's so unfortunate he gets hit by this Gaga because that bait was really sick. Let's watch it again because this bait's really, really good. Right here. So good. Such a good block there. That sucked. Also sucked. Oh yeah. No, this is post nerf Reborns. This is just like this is recent. This is right before Maxi Boost came out. This video is from, where is it? This video is from January 29th this year. Yeah, January 29th. So we went off on a bit of a segue, but I feel like this is kind of one of the most important concepts that a lot of people are struggling with right now. This is kind of one of the next steps. This is one of the next pedestals of the game, is like understanding neutral and flow control. Anyway, so I just wanted to show that because this is a really, really beautiful match. This really, really intense match. It's like one of the best matches ever. Honestly, that match is just so amazing. There's a set because it's a first to 4, I think, or it's a best of 7, but it's a really amazing. That first match is really amazing. The other matches are really, really good too, but just the first 2 minutes of neutral in that match are literally enough to study for a lifetime of this game and just get good off of. Because if you understand all of the options that are going on there, like, you just can learn so much just from watching his movement. You just copy his movements. It's amazing. I don't have J stars. Anyways, so what is there left for me to discuss here? I guess I'll go briefly over position. We talked about so much that I'm gonna actually go ahead and stop pretty soon. I'll make this like exactly 3-hour video. So I'm gonna go ahead and just talk about some positioning stuff really quick, but we talked about a lot. So I'm just gonna be watching the minimap right now while I watch him play, and I'll just try and point out some things. I mean, I already talked about a lot of things like this, right? Overstepping. So, I mean, you know, so it's still pretty not bad. Exia needs to play more forward often anyways, so as long as it's not causing too much of a disruption, like as long as your formation's not breaking out too poorly, it's okay sometimes for the back player to overstep, especially when they're playing back melee like Exia. And he has an Amikyan anyways. And you know, we're holding the center here, so I mean, this is a pretty solid place to be right now. Except for this overstep here. We should have actually CSA'd, carried him there, but maybe he just didn't switch. I'm not sure. So here, like, this is the main problem. This formation's like, oh shit, you can't see it. Fuck. Sorry. Well, it's okay because nothing interesting happened. You can't see. Okay, here we go. So here is this is kind of the first big positioning misplay. Is the way we land is already pretty gross, and we boost dash to the right into the wall here when Kerdum is here with bits, and you know our partner is getting harassed by a front player. So this movement here is really gross. We correct it, but you know, still pretty not good. So here, this movement to the right is really problematic. Let's watch this mini-map again. It's really, really important. I think it's E. Yeah, here we go. So, from here, right, naturally what we want to do actually is move to the left to force or move forward, like just to the left in general, to give the red team less space to move and hopefully force them towards the buildings. But instead we move to the right. I wish it didn't show that next frame. That's really annoying. Is there a way to move that? Oh, whatever. We move to the right, and now notice how our positioning here is pretty gross, because now we're kind of stuck in the corner side here, and Reborns has really been able to take this nice central spot here, free, and land free. And now this is really the start of what's about to become a bad situation with this charge shot here. It honestly stems from the fact that we don't have much room, which we did ourselves, right, by moving towards the corner or the side. And then now it's really easy for Reborns to push in here. Like, look how nicely Kerdum is situated up here, and he has like so much room to breathe. There's a whole hill over here to move in, and we're really being choked out here. Now, oh, okay, never mind. Someone messed up there, but looks like, okay, regardless, like, I guess we get away unscathed there, but we're still like stuck in this corner as a result. We get knocked down here, and like, notice this whole time Exia has not really had much place to move. He's just kind of moving back and forth along the side because he doesn't really have anywhere to go. He's just like going along this side lane. So here's a bad misplay on Reborn's part, but really great for us. We steal this landing here, I think, and now we sneak out of the corner, and we actually take this middle here. Well, except we got hit. So we lose it again, and then we get shot here. So, like, you know, moving towards the wall here is obviously a bad thing, and it would be really nice if we could regroup with our partner here. But at least we get knocked down. So this is really great. We escaped the corner. Moving towards the middle. If we can continue to move right here, then this would be really great. I think we kind of do here. In any case, we do a pretty good job of cornering Zephyr here, and we get this knockdown. We're looking really good. Like, this is pretty good positioning here. Aside from that, we should have gotten hit by that. I swear to God. Okay, so here's a really good, really good place to stop and look. We're in this, like, midpoint. If this was go, this is the 3-3, or this is like the 4-4 point, right? Or the 5-5, I guess. We're like right situated in this nice offensive, close to the corner, but not too close. Like, it's at the point where we can move either way to kind of cut them off. But if I recall what happens, yeah. So look what happened here. We moved away from the corner towards the wall. And what this does is we open up this gap here. You see this gap that opened up because we were here, perfectly centered, and we open up this gap for the opponents to actually sneak through here, and that's what we're gonna see them do, I think. Or we get hit, so it doesn't matter. But they should have snuck through that gap. I hear that now they sneak through this gap, but we were able to get up because we got knocked down. And we can push alongside here, so we're not in that bad of a situation. It could have been a lot worse though. So this is another situation I'd like to point out that's really good to know. Like from here, if we can drive Reborn's back towards this far corner over here, if we can stop him from coming out, then we'll be also looking really good because Keradim is pretty far in front here, and you know Bako is hunting. So this is the kind of situation where it'd be really great if we like kind of forced him diagonally this way and pushed him out, which we end up doing sort of, but we end up butting heads obviously because he wants to get out of the corner. We aren't really able to take advantage of it. Oh, but we activate to punch it out. Okay. Here's another thing. Oh, never mind. Well, our partner's off in the deep end, so we gotta help him. Oh, let's run that back. Let's watch this mini map again here. Pretty important. Oops. Ah, okay. So big problem here. Big problem. So like we had landed pretty recently. And look at this positioning here, right? Like it's kind of gross, it's kind of hard to see. But like Keradim, like all three of them are here. And here we go. So from here, right? So they're both kind of near the wall in the corner here. And here comes Reborn's. And he's boost hopping this way. Now, why is he boost hopping this way? He has nowhere else to go, right? Knowing this is actually the kind of situation where thrusting forward here and challenging his jump forward, as long as we can avoid like getting hit by a Gaga, it's actually pretty good to just try and attack at him here. But what happens is this. We activate Psycho Frame. And if we look at this positioning, we're perfectly positioned to cut him off here, right? We're perfectly positioned to cut off Reborn's, who's trying to move out of the corner here. But unfortunately, what happens instead is, you know, because we pop Psycho Frame, we're behind on boost, and we're standing still here, so instead, we have to run away. And it makes it, and we just kind of let Reborn's get out of the corner, you know, not get out of the corner, but escape the corner, at least move towards the side safer, stretch out, get more breathing room for free here. And then, you know, we let him push at us, and we basically let him push out of the corner for free. Now they have a pretty nice pincer position. And with Exia down, it's a really bad position for us now. Right? And this is kind of where it starts, because this is where the helicopter starts too. We should have died right here. Get moving towards the side also. Well, I mean, actually it's okay. Because there's buildings there, it's pretty okay to do that. Yeah. So, I think there's one more situation I actually forgot to talk about in the beginning. Let's see if I can... Hey, here we go, here we go, here we go. Right. So, this is something that happens a lot. Sometimes you can't help it, sometimes I feel like you can. But, I mean, this is kind of like bad communication on both players' parts. Look at how they're going like this. Right? Like, you never want to close your formation like this, because it creates these gaps on the sides that we can no longer defend. It makes it a lot easier for the opponents to kind of push out here. And then, even worse, we move with each other. So we're, like, you know, Jinbu and Bako here, they're basically like on top of each other in this situation. It's just really bad because now there's all these gaps because there's only one of them. So it's really easy here for, notice how Reborn's moves around us here. And then can go back. Like, it's just because we're not really expanding our as a team. We're not really spreading out our control of space. We're being like layered on top. So it's really hard there to really make much map pressure when we're like that. So definitely try not to move. You never want to see on the minimap like both team members going like this at each other, like the arrows just going like this. You never want to cross into each other like that. Like here is much better, aside from the fact that we're going in hell hard. But here again, see, now also we overlap, right? Like we jump at each other. I definitely guarantee you that if this game was like from a top-down perspective, no one would be kind of making these kind of positional misplays. But you know, it's just because we can't really see everything. We can't see the partner behind us. We only have the mini-map. So try to have two angles attack instead of one. Yeah, like basically you and your partner shouldn't be in the same place. You guys should be both trying to apply influence on different parts of the map to force the opponents towards the corner if you guys already have the middle. Like if you have the middle, you should be playing to contain and drive out. Like here too, I think this is it. Yeah, you guys are just kind of both kind of stacked on each other a lot. That's unfortunate. I mean, this is obviously not just Jinbu. This is as a team, you know. Bako's also making a lot of positional misplays as well. It's not necessarily just like, oh, don't move the way your partner is moving. You know, your partner needs to be watching the way you're moving too. You guys shouldn't be playing a guessing game about it, you know. Did confirm. Like here too. Like very, very, very unfortunate here. Look how we created space for Fusion to escape to when we killed Reborns. Let's rewind. Here. Alright, so boost dashing here. Like, notice how after Reborns is killed, we're both moved towards the sides here. And it makes it really easy for Fusion to move to the right and escape this corner. If we had been able to move to the right, we would have been able to pin with Bako. And we probably would have actually hit carried him because he would have had nowhere to go. He would have just been totally screwed. But instead, you know, we allow him to easily escape. Alright, I think I'm gonna stop here. It's been about 3 hours of just one replay. So for those of you guys who didn't think that you could talk about just one replay for 3 hours, well, there you go. I'm going to go ahead and stop here, but hopefully this was educational. I'll be uploading this on YouTube later as well when I have time. So I'm gonna go ahead and take a small break and Amy return to